Hi, in this short video, I'm going to show you two ways to add a web link to your course, specifically a link that will connect course material that you have on OneDrive to your Blackboard course shell. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to use the web link tool in the content area. So we have our menu and I'm in a content area where students would access material. So I'm going to hover over Build Content and select Web Link. This is pretty easy. We want to label it Chapter 7 Lecture Presentation. And then I'm going to go to OneDrive to find this link for Chapter 7. So let's go to my OneDrive tab. And I'm accessing OneDrive through the portal. So rcsj.edu for Gloucester campus, my applications in OneDrive. And this is the web version of OneDrive. And so I'm in a folder that has a couple presentations and I'm going to select Chapter 7. So you can select a link and get your link from a list of files like this, or you can also get it from inside the file itself. I know, isn't this a great presentation? It's just so beautiful and has so much information. You want to click the share button here to get that link. But when I do this, I usually do a lot of files at a time. So going in and out of them might be a little time consuming. So I'm just going to work with this list. So I found Chapter 7 Lecture Presentation. I'm going to click the arrow and I'm going to go here because I'm going to copy that link. Then I want to put a couple settings in. It's just 2 settings, so super simple. I want anyone with the link because this will prevent students from having to suddenly log into their OneDrive accounts, things like that. So this way anyone can use it. And with the Cumberland account, Cumberland students, they don't have OneDrive yet. So this way they can use this as well. Fairly simply. And then I want to unclick this box because I don't want my students adding stuff or editing my presentation. Who knows what they could put in. So now I've used anyone with the link. So this means anyone on the Cumberland campus or Gloucester campus because it's anyone with the link. I'm preventing editing and I'm going to click Apply. Click Copy because that's our goal here, to copy that link and go back to Blackboard. Next, I'm going to paste that link. All right. And in this description box, I would put a couple verbal cues, simply something like click this link to access our presentation. Okay, so this way they know it's a link to click. If it is a lecture or a lesson, I suggest also putting a couple main points. What are some of the goals you want your students to understand, or what are some of the things, main points you want your students to understand in this presentation? Or maybe even which assignments or activities does this presentation connect to? So this gives them a little bit of direction. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And now we have Chapter 7 Lecture Presentation. We can just click that, and there we are in Chapter 7. Wow, that's just beautiful. All right, I'm going to exit out of this. The second way we're going to do this, I prefer because it allows me to add more than just a web link and some content. In fact, we're going to work with using the item tool and creating hyperlinks in text. This means it'll allow you to add multiple links to that same little module. So we're going to build content again and use the item tool this time. And we're going to do the same thing, Chapter 7 Lecture Presentation. Let's see. So here, actually, I'm going to change this because we're putting multiple things in here. So we're going to go with weekly readings. I can say, please read chapters 7 and 8. In our text. Okay. Then I'm going to use a verbal cue sentence with a hyperlink. Click here to access my presentation on Chapter 7. And let's just say I'm going to go ahead and also do that for Chapter 8. So I'm repeating my text and I'm just going to change that to 8. So the next step is, now that we have our text, we want to create our hyperlink. So once again, just going to review this. we're going to go to our files. We're going to go to OneDrive on the web through the portal, and Chapter 7 lecture presentation. Okay, click the arrow, copy link, people you can edit, anyone with a link, don't allow sharing or don't allow editing, apply, copy link. All right, now we go back and you want to highlight the text you want to create a link out of. So now that that's in blue, I'm going to click this chain link and paste my URL. And I'm going to open it in a new window. All right. And now we can see that that's a different text and underline. That's a link. And we could do the same thing to Chapter 8, but you can see I didn't get very far in my Chapter 7 presentation, so Chapter 8 is definitely not started. But we have a hyperlink. And like I said, using the item tool, you can use this text area to add a lot of different things. Multiple links, and even other files like smaller documents and things like that. So let's go ahead and hit submit so we can see what that looks like. All right, weekly readings, we have a bunch of stuff, and click Chapter 7, and there we are in Chapter 7. So that is how you have two options to create a web link from OneDrive. You can use the web link tool in the content area, build content web link, or you can create something with the item tool and use a hyperlink. So we want to go to the content area and item tool right here. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at elearning@rcsj.edu.